Hey, what is up guys? It's your boy Speed here, and today we're going to be going over 5 tips to gain MMR. These are, it's a little bit of a bullet list I just came up with, wrote some things down, kind of just, thought through what was going through my head, and I'm like, alright, these are all really useful ideas that I can share with you guys so that you can have a better time and hopefully a more enjoyable time in solo queue as well. So yeah, without further ado, smash the like button. It would mean the world if you guys could really click the like button. I really would appreciate it. And yeah, subscribe to the gameleap website. I'm going to be making some really cool guides over there that's going to help you guys get to the next level. So make sure you check that out. Click the link down below. I really would appreciate that as well, as I know you guys will really like the content on the website if you like the content here on YouTube. And yeah, let's get into it. All right, so the first point is probably the most general. I want to start pretty basic, then we'll get a bit more niche as the video goes along. But basically the first point is mentality is everything. I realize that more and more because when I use the word mentality, what I realize with your average Dota 2 player is that even if we're not talking about toxicity, right? Because a lot of people assume, oh, when I say mentality is everything, what I'm trying to say is like, just don't get tilted. Don't rage at your teammates. Don't tell them that they're the scum of the earth. They're useless. They're horrible at the video game. They don't deserve to be in your presence. Like, people think like, oh, as long as I'm not doing that, my mentality is good. And that's where you're wrong, right? That's where you're wrong. You have to have like a pretty good basis to stay focused as well, like to stay strong. You want to be the basis for your team in the game. Now, you might be thinking to yourself, oh, but I don't use the mic. I don't like to talk. That doesn't matter. At the end of the day, and I really just want to wrap this point up, even though it's been a short point, I want to wrap this point up saying, use the pings, okay? In general, I cannot recommend good ping usage is. It is so powerful in solo queue. Just to use basic pings, to ping whether or not you want to go Roche, to ping a hill you want to run up with, if you're smoking, to ping who you want to go on. Whatever it is, you should be keeping the mentality up of your team that you're trying very hard. One thing that I've noticed in life that I think is really interesting and almost, I don't want to say surprising because it makes a lot of sense, but almost fascinating, is that if you try really hard, the people around you begin to try really hard. And that is why in solo queue, if someone gets tilted, it's very hard to stay mentally strong. But that is why when your teammates also inevitably get pissed at each other, it's important that you ignore it, okay? And this is really what I believe, and it's what I try to execute on as much as I possibly can. I'm not perfect, and I don't think anyone ever will be, but when your teammates are getting mad at each other, you just need to keep playing the game. Assuming you've done well in your laning stage because you've watched gameleap website videos, you can then just continue to guide your team throughout the game and motivate them to play harder. And I really do believe that this works in everything in life, but like really in competitive environments, if someone sees someone going real hard, they are much more likely to put in effort themselves, and it really works like that, right? That is honestly a big reason I think I've gained rank. People can be like, oh, so you're not that good at the game, you're just mentally strong. It's like, that's part of being good at the game. Like, like if you want to be good, you need to be good at this as well. And hopefully that makes sense. All right, getting into the second point. This one is a bit of mentality as well. We'll do some like gameplay things further along, but I do want to mention like this one, I really like this point. So you should see the mistakes of your teammates as a challenge or a test of your skill. And here's how you can do that, right? Because a lot of the time, the average thought, and I have this thought all the time too, oh, my team sucks. I can't win this game. I have no idea why my Spear Breaker is charging tier 2s when there's a tier 1. My team won't come Roche when I tell them to. My Ursa isn't Roshing. I have no idea why. My Nature's Prophet is AFK jungling, like blah, blah, blah. There's a million things that your team can do that you're probably going to disagree with, right? Now, you should take these things as a test. And I mean that. And you shouldn't be like, oh, this is some cope. This is some, I'm deluding myself to think that my teammates are really good. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm telling you that you should understand that your team sucks. I mean, you probably do too, but your team sucks, okay? And if you are good enough to gain MMR, if you deserve to gain MMR, you will, regardless of how bad your team is, put in so much work in the game that you can make up for a lost teammate, right? Let's say when your teammates didn't exist, it almost shouldn't matter. You should be putting in so much work that even if your Witch Doctor is literally not casting his abilities, which can happen, it doesn't matter. It should be a true test of your skill. Can you overcome how truly bad your team actually is? Can you overcome it, right? Also, at the end of the day, if your team is like really that bad, let's be real, the enemy team is probably worse or just as bad or like slightly less bad, but still bad. So if you think your teammates are really bad and you don't think the enemy is really bad, you're just crazy. Like, it's always insane to me when people are like, oh, I get the worst teammates. I'm like, there's no way you're this unlucky. Like, are you gonna have unlucky streaks where you get the toxic guy, the guy who, you know, just got laid off of his job and his girlfriend just cheated on him, and, you know, I don't know, everything is going bad in this guy's life and he decides to queue up for a game of Dota and you happen to have him on your team. Yeah, I mean, you're gonna get unlucky and get that guy, right? It happens. But the thing is, the enemy team also might get that guy. And, you know, chances are that, I mean, odds are they actually have a higher chance of getting that guy. So count your blessings, I guess. All right, getting into the third point. This is a hero pool suggestion. So I really recommend you lower your hero pool temporarily. I think in general, people just play too many heroes. I don't think you should play one hero. I think that's a bad idea because you just don't learn that much. You're not gonna learn too much about the game. You're probably gonna get bored. You're gonna lose focus. I'm not a huge fan. Some people can do this. Some people have the temperament or the focus to just play one hero. That's insane to me. I personally recommend 5 heroes, right? In the course of let's say 1 to 2 weeks, stick to about that many heroes, like 3 to 5. Personally, I recommend 5, just so you can like kind of keep your hero pool diverse. If, you know, one hero gets nerfed, you're still gonna have heroes that you can play to gain MMR if that's what you're going for. Just in general, this is a good tactic to not only gain MMR, but also just to kind of learn the game. And it might seem weird because a lot of people say, oh, I like to play different heroes because I like to learn a lot about Dota. But the reality is you can learn about other heroes even when you're not playing them. I think it's very important that mechanically you just get really good at a hero so that you don't have to focus on the mechanics of a hero every time you're playing a game. If you load into the game and you have to read an ability, or you have to like be clunky on your abilities because you haven't played the hero in a month or a week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks, whatever it is, that's a problem. Because you know what's gonna happen when you do that? You're not gonna be able to focus on the minimap as much because you're gonna be too worried about clicking your abilities and paying attention to the fact that you only have 6 skeletons on Wraith King, or, you know, what is the cooldown on my abilities, blah, blah, blah. There's too much stuff going on. You need to limit the variables so you can focus on more complex concepts as well. A lot of players get stuck in low MMR because like they play 20 heroes in 4 weeks, right? In the course of a month, they've played 20 different heroes. It's like, I mean, you can do that. And like, if you play enough games, you can get away with that. But like, let's say they played 30 games, they've played 25 different heroes. It's like, if that's you need to check your recent matches. You should be a little bit concerned, right? You should be a little bit concerned because you're probably not watching replays, or you're probably watching my gameleap videos on a guide on a hero, and then you're not even spamming the hero. It's like, are you trying to get better? What is your goal here? What are we going for, guys? Because you can't play all the Dota heroes, all right? Equally as well. You can play them all, but not equally as well. All right, coming in at number 4, you gotta learn what your spike is and go hard when it's up and chill when it's down. Go hard when it's up, chill when it's down. It's kind of fun to say, but all right. What do I mean by that? So let's talk about a couple Dota heroes. I really like doing this exercise with my coaching students and my friends sometimes. But basically, let's say you're playing Nature's Prophet early game. Okay, if you don't have your ultimate, you don't do much damage. So if you have your ultimate, you should get active. You should look for a kill. If you don't, you shouldn't. Okay, this is not always the case, but in Dota, in order to improve, you need to first, this is a big thing, really understand when you're strong, okay? Let's say, like a big thing, I'm watching 3Ks, okay? A 3K MMR player. I watch a lot of 3K games. They're playing Lycan. You know what happens? They have no shapeshift. They have no shapeshift. It doesn't even matter. They're still running around trying to fight. It's like, what? Same thing in the laning stage, right? In the laning stage, okay, they're level 2, right? Not that strong yet. They're going crazy. Then they hit level 3. All of a sudden, their wolves are strong. They hit level 4. Okay, all of a sudden, we got 2 points in the passive. Huge damage buff. It goes from 11% bonus damage to 22. The regen doubles. Your wolves are much stronger. They get their Helm of Iron Will. All of a sudden, they can get pretty aggressive. They're in a position to, you know, maybe even apply aggression, depending on the matchup, but they're in a position to apply aggression. You know what they do? Somehow, all of a sudden, they're strong and they're AFK. Why were you so aggressive at level 1 and level 2 and not at level 4? Which is part of the reason why you need to watch guides so you can learn about, you know, when heroes are strong and when they're not. But this is like a really important concept, and you should be thinking about your hero and learning when you need to chill and when you need to go hard. And when you should go hard, you guys should push your limits as far as humanly possible. For instance, if you're playing Batrider and you hit level 3, I highly recommend, if you're not that comfortable on the hero and you're learning it, you really take the risk, because that is the hero's spike. Sticky Napalm goes from 7 bonus damage per stack to 14. It's a huge and very noticeable difference. For instance, Razor, his Link at level 3 goes from 7 damage per drain, per whatever, it's like 7 damage drain to 12. That's huge. Viper goes from 4 damage per second to 8 on his Q. Huge changes. Go aggressive on your spikes. Now, of course, it's not as simple as this. It's not, but this is an extremely good baseline. For instance, if you're playing Viper, but the enemy is tri-laning you, maybe even at level 3, you should chill. You shouldn't go that hard. And that's fair, right? There's exceptions, but in general, guys, I cannot stress this enough. Like, I'll quickly go over some heroes. Lone Druid. Honestly, the hero can be generally consistent in his aggression, but let's say you resummon a new bear on a new level, that's a good time to get aggressive. Luna. Her Lunar Blessing at level 3, very strong. Level 4, she's very strong if she takes 2 points in beam, if you decide to go that route. Something like Monkey King. Pretty fine at level 1. If the enemy is 2 melee heroes, good at level 1. Same thing at level 2. If it's not and the lane's a bit harder, at level 3 is his main spike. A lot of heroes spike at level 3, but something that doesn't spike at level 3. Crystal Maiden at level 2, she hits a hard spike. Dawnbreaker at level 2, hard spike. So if you're missing these windows, you're not good. You're bad. All right, and getting to the final point of the video, this is a suggestion from your life coach, Speed. Stop living a life that causes you to have 0 attention span and 0 energy. I'm not even gonna lie, it's 3 a.m. I've been up for like 15 hours. I have plenty of energy, and I will say, some of you guys aren't gonna want to hear this. I know a lot of you guys are gonna click off the video, you're gonna be like, I don't care, blah, blah, blah. Okay, the reason why I have so much energy, and I'm gonna go to bed after this. I literally have to make this video. But the reason why I have so much energy, and you might be like, oh, you're just young, or whatever, because I'm 23. You're young, blah, blah, blah. No, I don't eat crap. I get good sleep. Okay, and that's mainly it. I also exercise every single day. If you do these 3 things, I swear you'll gain MMR. Now, I know most of you don't want to hear this. You've clicked off the video, blah, blah, blah. I get it. I assure you, though, stop eating trash, okay? If you eat too much sugar, your insulin's gonna spike, your blood sugar levels are gonna rise too much, and your body's gonna crash. Then you're gonna queue up for a solo queue game, okay? You're gonna have no energy. You know what's gonna happen? You're gonna get bored. One thing that pisses me off almost more than anything else is when people in the middle of a Dota game tell me they're bored. Like, people type, I'm bored, I'm done, I'm bored. You're bored? You're bored? When do you not get bored? You're playing a video game, one of the highest action video games in the world, and you're bored, okay? When do you not get bored? Are you just then permanently bored outside of the Dota games? Because then you have a real problem. And you're not holding focus in your games. I know you're not. You're not learning because you're getting bored. You can't, and obviously, even if you don't go to this extreme, there's different levels to your energy levels and to your focus, right? If you're queuing up for the game and you don't even want to play because you're in a horrible mood, just ate a bunch of junk food, obviously there's life circumstances that are pretty uncontrollable. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the things you can control, right? I'm talking about food, exercise, and sleep being the main 3. You know, just fix them up as much as you can, guys. Try not to, I know a lot of you guys are not dictating your life around these videos and dictating your your life based on even what I say necessarily, but I just recommend it only because it's something I've really implemented into my life over the last year. Better diet, more exercise, and better sleep, more consistent sleep schedule. Not all the time, but I'm getting better at that part. And I really have noticed big differences in my performance in solo queue. I have way more energy. I'm much more consistently in a good mood, which helps me perform better, focus on my learning. I even watched replays for hours on end today, and I was fully focused almost the entire time. Not the entire time, I'm not gonna lie to you. You know, I still zone out sometimes, but for the most part, and yeah, I just recommend it. All right, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace. And that's all, but remember, before you leave, before you tune out, subscribe to the GameLeap website where we are going to help you get to the next rank. If you're stuck, click the link down below, and I'm out. Peace.